Things like it's time for the crushing interview.
This question interview brought to you by Orison Software. The Orison team is committed to providing full lifecycle support for developing, testing, and delivering market-driven products. Orison's motto is when a customer engages one of us, they engage all of us. Go do side.
If anything is going on down at Atlanta Motor Speedway, it has to cross this guy's email or his desk. Dustin Bixby to the microphone. Dustin, what's up, brother?
How are you guys doing? Thank you for having me.
Oh,
Yes,
man.
sir.
Thank you for coming. Talk to us about what, with so much going on in Atlanta, the vice president of marketing and promotion, that has to be a very busy job for you down there in Atlanta.
Yeah, it's a little busy at times. I mean, there's just a couple things to do here and there.
Yeah.
So let me start with this because I am the NASCAR guy in the building. Why can't we get multiple races anymore?
That I can't answer.
Oh, man.
That I can't answer.
Overall, when you see it from, how has it been? How would you say NASCAR, where is it at right now, in your opinion, in the sports world?
You know, I think that it's changing because we've had so many changes with all the drivers that have come and gone. Dale Jr. has retired. You've got a whole bunch of new, young, up-and-coming drivers. Bubba Wallace, Kyle Larson, Chase Elliott from right around the corner here in Dawsonville. So it's sort of right now in a change period just because you have a lot of the older guys. Jeff Gordon has retired. Dale Jr. has retired. So it's just it's sort of going under a change right now.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about just the experience, the race day experience at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Do you recommend everybody get the headsets?
We actually do. We've done a lot of surveys and studies on that. Not to get too technical on survey studies and all that stuff, but what we found is, especially for new fans that have come and have never been to Atlanta Motor Speedway, you sort of walk into a NASCAR race and go, I don't really know what the heck's going on. What am I supposed to do? And everything is right there in the palm of your hand. It tells you who's leading. It tells you, you can listen to the race radio broadcast in your ears. And so while you're sitting there watching, they'll explain everything that's going on and help you sort of understand what you're seeing and what you're doing. And we have some specials and some opportunities where if you buy your tickets and buy that scanner at the same time, instead of walking up going, yeah, that'll be $90 to your bill.
Right.
You pay like $20 when you buy it with your ticket in advance, and it's an easy no-brainer at that point, as opposed to. So a big way to save is just when you're buying your tickets. Hey, can I get one of them scanner things? And they'll know what you're talking about, and they'll help you out.
When people go to Atlanta Motor Speedway, what is the one thing that you guys want them to get from the experience when they come there?
I think the biggest thing, regardless of what event, is just to have a great time and have a memorable experience, whether that's our NASCAR race, whether it's our car show that we do in April, whether it's our short track racing we do during the summer, or any of the other events, is just to have a memorable experience that'll have you coming back again and again.
One of the joys that I always have when I'm at the race, outside of it being loud, I always like the way the cars, so when they're across the way in the bank, they just look like they moving like regular speed, but then once they kind of get in the curve and come back by you in the grandstand, like a bag of Skittles.
That's exactly right. It's interesting. Some of the conversation is, oh my gosh, it's if you slowed the cars down, everybody would notice, but I don't think you'd be able to notice the difference between 175 and 190.
Right.
And I think you get a little better race at 170 miles an hour because you're not going into the corner going, oh my God, I'm going to lose this.
Right. You talked about a little bit earlier about some of the people that left. This is the first time in a while that the racing world has been without an Earnhardt.
Yep.
How has that affected racing so far, without either senior or junior being in the race for a while?
Well, I think that a lot of people are what I would almost consider sort of tentative on what to do or what to think, just because they've always come and you have the massive Earnhardt Nation that would go wherever and do whatever, and now I think they're sort of saying, well, who's my driver?
Right.
Who am I going to follow? What am I going to do? And who is that guy? And so they might not go to an event that they may have gone to in the past because they don't know who their driver is.
Before I really got into NASCAR, it's like you just saying, it's the names. But once I kind of really understood the races, restrictor plate versus regular race, it was just like the competitiveness. I don't think people understand how competitive race day is in NASCAR.
Yeah, people think, oh my gosh, it's just a bunch of redneck hicks making left-hand turns, and it's a lot more than that. There's a lot more that goes into it. Just like you said, it's all the engineers, it's the teams, it's it's just all of it together is just you really, I don't want to say you got to be smart, but there's so much engineering that's involved now.
Right.
It's so aerodynamic, and there's a lot of strategy that's involved. Do I pit now? Do I wait? How's the tire fall off going to be? There's so many different factors that is more than just getting in a car and making a left-hand turn.
Right.
We'll talk more about that when we come back, because you saw what happened in Indianapolis 500. The guy didn't know whether to pit or not.
And it cost him.
It
Cost-
did.
it
Yes,
cost
it
him.
did.
Hey, we'll be right back. Stay with us. We got more when we come back.
Major key alert. Life is like school. You will be tested, so pass it.
Learn the real major keys to getting to college at GetSchooled.com. Brought to you by Get Schooled and the Ad Council.
Uncle Dan? Mom? Dad? If you store your guns properly, so not just anyone can get to them. I'll feel safer when I'm playing outside.
Safer when walking home.
Safer when my friends come over. As your neighbor, I'll feel safer.
As a school teacher, I'll feel safer.
We'll all feel safer.
Your family, friends, and neighbors are all counting on you. If you own a gun, you have a full-time responsibility. When you aren't using it, be sure it can't get into the hands of curious children, troubled teenagers, a thief, or anyone else who might misuse it. Remember, always lock it up. For more information on firearm storage safety, visit ncpc.org. This message brought to you by the National Crime Prevention Council, the Bureau of Justice Assistance, and the Ad Council.
My savings are gone.
Okay, where were they last?
Here, right before I spent them on that vacation to Aruba.
Weird. Not weird. Not saving now means no money later. For free ways to save, go to feedthepig.org. This message brought to you by the American Institute of CPAs and the Ad Council.
When I was little, I didn't talk for a long time. I was sensitive to lights and sounds, so I built secret hiding places where they couldn't get in. Sometimes I did the same things over and over, until one day I found out I had autism. My family got me help. Slowly, I learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org/signs. Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
This is University of Georgia linebacker Demetrius Douglas. You're tuned in to The Crush on Sensation Station Network.
Hey, we're back doing our crushing interview right now with Dustin Bixby of the Atlanta Motor Speedway. Monster Energy is kind of taking over to where it's now Monster Energy at Atlanta, Monster Energy at Las Vegas. Talk to us about the 2018. Kevin Hart was your champion this year. He won the race. But talk to us how this year's race went for you guys in 2018.
You know, we had a little bit of a weather challenge, and one of the things that's great about coming to a race at our race is that we've got a weather policy that lets you not worry about whether you're going to get rained out or snowed out or frozen out, because, you know, you make all these plans to come, and it's like, okay, I've come, I paid all my money, and I got nothing to show for it. I can't come back on a Wednesday or whatever.
Right.
So we've got a pretty cool policy that lets you buy your ticket, not really worry about it, and if we get weather, well, you can apply that to next year if you can't make the made-up date. But we had a little bit of rain, but we got the whole race in, and it was a good event this year. But I think, you know, you get the weatherman saying, you know, there might be a little bit of a rain, and everybody panics. Man, it's like looking at a baseball game when they say it's going to rain.
We do it in February. I mean, we're close to Florida, but we're still not Florida, and we know that we will have some ice storms, some rain,
some of anything could possibly happen.
Do you worry about that sometime with that timing?
We do, because we're human, but at the same time, when we put that weather policy in, we did some research into what the weather typically was that weekend.
Okay.
And so we went back like 20 years, and of the 20 prior years before we put that in a couple years ago, we would have had 2 that would have been an issue out of 20.
Right.
We said, that's not bad odds.
Right.
I mean,
yeah. We can roll with that.
You know, it's going to rain in the middle of July. It could rain in February. It was more the concern of people being too cold. And I think that we were on Labor Day for a couple years, and I honestly prefer the cold because at least I can put another jacket on. But man, if it gets too hot, there's only so many layers I want people to take off before it's a little bit indecent.
So, cause you saying all fans can't fit in cars? Is that what you're trying to say? That's messing with you.
Yeah, there you go.
Now, another thing that's big with Atlanta Motor Speedway, the truck series.
Yep.
Talk about the truck series and what that brings to AMS.
No, we do we have the only scheduled doubleheader in NASCAR with the Xfinity Series and then the Camping World Truck Series. And we always feel that the Truck Series brings a great race because you've got some kids that might not have all the experience, so you're more likely to see more mistakes, which means more opportunities for passing or more racing or accidents, because you don't really know what you're doing at 190 miles an hour, and you get a little torn up equipment and you get a little more entertainment. So we run that the same day we run an Xfinity Series race back to back. So we'll do the first one, then clear the front stretch and start the second one. So you get 200, 250, 550 miles of racing in one day with two different races. So you definitely get your money's worth on Saturday. Plus we do a Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series practice that same day. So if you're looking, you really don't know what you want to get, you can see the big guys practice, then you can see two races for like $40.
You can't beat it. Speaking of Truck Series, we talk about diversity in NASCAR. Bubba Wallace Jr., he's out there now. Darrell Wallace Jr., Bubba. Just talk about diversity and where's NASCAR going with that in 2018 and trying to broaden their horizons and get more people out there.
I mean, that's something that they have done. They've implemented some programs. They've got a Drive for Diversity program where they try to help bring in different minorities, and they've, Darrell Wallace Jr., Bubba, is a great example. He actually started his career racing a go-kart before driving a Legend/Bandolero car, which he did at Atlanta Motor Speedway at our Thursday Thunder Series before making his way up and making it to the top level. But they understand that NASCAR has sort of an image of being a little more, I say redneck, but it really, as we've talked about, is a lot, and they understand that it's you got to have engineers, you've got to have all these different kind of people, but it's really we really have a very diverse crowd that comes to our race at Atlanta.
I was just getting ready to say that people. So whenever I go, if I check in or whatever, and people be like, "Hey, you down there?" I'm like, "Listen, you would be shocked at the crowd that's here."
Yep.
Like, I'm not the only one down here. Believe me when I tell you that.
Your cousin is big into it.
We love it.
Yeah. So.
It's huge.
You're probably a guy that loves your car, and that's what we are. We're cars. I mean, I don't know how else to put it, but if you love cars, you got to come down and check it out.
Right.
And look, everybody, just because you drive fast on 75, I mean,
you're not geared for NASCAR.
Yeah.
Trust me.
You passed a few cars doing 55. That's
right.
Add another 100.
Because as soon as your car hydroplane, you're done. Trust me.
We come back with Dustin, man. We're gonna talk about how he got to this level, because he's been doing some few things around this.
He done had a few jobs.
In this area. We're gonna talk to him when we get back. Stay with us.
Hi, this is Terry Crews, actor, former football player, and father of 5. I'm also an expert on drama. There's the good kind that comes with having a house full of kids, and there's silly drama like the drama around my percolating pectorals. And then there's the drama you can skip.
Skip the drama that comes with not having your high school diploma or equivalency. Find free adult education classes near you and finish your diploma. Visit finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org.
And leave the drama to actors like me.
Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ed Council.
Do you love great-fitting jeans with trendy styles? Go to wristdenim.com and check out their fabulous form-fitting premium denim jeans, sizes 1 to 24. Their accurate size charts are designed to make your online shopping experience easier, offering free shipping and no hassle returns, because their motto is, you should look your hottest at all times. Wristdenim.com, jeans for beautiful women. If you want to stand out in a crowd, get your jeans today at wristdenim.com.
People been saying to your friend, get a different face, and posting on their feed, they're super ugly. The things they say to them online are cruel and they're not true. So tell your friend, I'll stand up for you. Don't worry, I know what to do.
Know someone being bullied online? You can be a witness and make a difference by letting the world know it isn't cool, and by letting your friend know you care. Learn more at eyewitnessbullying.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm Danica Patrick. Watching my nieces grow, play, and learn is amazing, but not every child gets to be carefree. 1 in 6 kids in the U.S. are hungry. This breaks my heart, and it's something that Feeding America is working to change. Each year, the Feeding America network of food banks rescues billions of pounds of good food that would have gone to waste and gives it to families in need. To help, visit feedingamerica.org.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council. This is Tracy Hutchins with CBS 46 News. You're listening to The Crush on Sensation Station Network.
We're back. Still here with our interview with Dustin Bixby of the Atlanta Motor Speedway. As far as the Atlanta Motor Speedway, what do you guys want to take and be a part of Atlanta as far as the sports scene is concerned? I mean, Atlanta's popping with Braves and Falcons. What do you guys consider yourself with the city of Atlanta?
We're the only NASCAR stop in the city. They're the only NASCAR stop in the state of Georgia. So we take pride in the fact that we're sort of the motorsports representative for the state of Georgia with the only national touring series in NASCAR at Atlanta Motor Speedway.
Now, just explain to everybody, like, race week. You know, getting the infield all proud. I just love the way the infield is all painted, all pretty. I'm one of those, I'm the technical guy. When the trucks pull in and these guys start getting ready for the week, what is you guys' job as far as getting the guys ready?
At that point, it's exhale. It's done at that point, man. I'm still alive in one piece, but at that point, really, when they come in, it's sort of a sigh of relief because the race weekend has started and all the preparation that we've done is underway. It's all the stuff before that, like you said, painting the infield, getting everything cleaned up. That's the work before the race weekend actually gets there.
Now, real quick, Glad, how do you get qualified to be the flag person? I mean, what kind of skills there? I kind of like that job.
We could probably get you up there if you want.
Yeah.
We can get you up there for qualifying.
Don't get the wrong flag when they be getting green.
No,
no, they supposed to be finished. Oh, where's
caution? I need everybody to come. My driving out here, I need caution.
So during that week when it's time to go, do you see Jessica much? Do you see your wife much that week?
Well, I put her to work race week, so I didn't get to see her. But otherwise, I would.
Headphones.
Hey, we need you to work
Somebody
this week.
need a scanner.
All hands on deck.
Yep.
So before you got to the Atlanta Motor Speedway, you worked with the Gladiators, the Gwinnett Gladiators, the minor league baseball team for the Braves. Now it's Atlanta.
No.
Not
hockey.
Hockey.
Yep. We were the AA affiliate of the Atlanta Thrashers at the time.
Right.
Yep. All the tier ping.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, well, maybe fortunately, depending on your point of view, Winnipeg isn't in it anymore.
Well, we don't want to be that way.
Yeah. But yeah, I started as the team's radio broadcaster, PR, marketing, ticket sales, corporate sales.
It was all hands on deck then for real. Like,
yeah.
Like, don't put put his name on his card. Don't put the job title.
What's the job title?
He
works.
All of them.
A hat with like 8 bills in one set. Radio guy. You just like spin it. You just spin it and have the different thing on the hat bill. What are you today? Hold on.
Why didn't hockey catch on in Atlanta?
I don't think that it didn't catch on. We had games where we had a sellout crowd of 10,000 people.
Wow.
And the Thrashers at the same night had 18,000 as a sellout as well. They had ownership issues.
Yeah.
That
always hurts.
The prior owners didn't really want the team. As soon as they bought the Thrashers, they were trying to unload them, but they had all that infighting.
Right. We had 7 owners.
Yeah, so we had to figure out what that was, and once they figured that out, they got rid of the Thrashers as fast as they could.
Bye.
So were you always going from hockey to NASCAR? I mean, were you always a NASCAR dude when this was approached to you, or when this came up?
I was I followed NASCAR. I could, I name all the guys. I wouldn't say that my schedule precluded me from being able to necessarily go and follow along to every race because I was probably calling a hockey game some of those nights.
Yeah,
but,
right.
I'd know what was going on and who was good, and here's Junior, and here's Juan Pablo Montoya blowing up a jet dryer, and things like that. So I followed along, but I wouldn't say that I was. Yeah, no. I wouldn't say I was a diehard, but I knew what was going on as the seasons progressed and things like that.
I'm always fascinated with. So again, I'm trying to get my peoples into racing. I'm telling them about drafting and all of these things. Just help this guy out. What should he first try to get?
Come on, man.
About NASCAR. I'm trying to help him out. Give him some starter tips
to get into NASCAR.
Yeah.
Well, I think the first thing is you got to watch the race.
I've been a fan. He don't understand. My first racer was Bill Elliott. That's how
Well,
long
see,
I've been a fan.
now you're going local. There you
See,
go. There you go.
He talk all that. Bill Elliott was my first favorite racer.
There you go.
What is it? I never knew that.
Bill Elliott. I grew up in Augusta. Bill Elliott was big
You learn
around
something
that
new every
time.
day.
So
Yeah.
I was a Bill Elliott fan back in the day.
The local boy.
Yeah,
There it is.
so that was my guy.
Yep.
See,
Wow.
Try. You know what we got to do?
Hot seat.
Hot seat time for our guy, man. We ready? We'll see in a minute. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Danica Patrick. Watching my nieces grow, play, and learn is amazing, but not every child gets to be carefree. 1 in 6 kids in the U.S. are hungry. This breaks my heart, and it's something that Feeding America is working to change. Each year, the Feeding America network of food banks rescues billions of pounds of good food that would have gone to waste and gives it to families in need. To help, visit feedingamerica.org.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Oh, long time no see. It's me, the Rock t-shirt in the back of your closet. Dude, remember? You crowd surfed in me, man. But you haven't worn me in like forever. I get it, you're retired, but I still got some rock left in me. So take me to Goodwill, where I could really make a difference.
Your donations to Goodwill create jobs, training programs, and education assistance for people in your community. To find your nearest donation center, go to goodwill.org. Donate stuff. Create jobs. A message from Goodwill and the Ad Council.
Adopt US Kids presents Multiple Choice Parenting.
You accidentally cut your daughter's bangs unevenly. Do you A, line things up a centimeter from her hairline?
Man, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man.
No. Sweatbands are so hot right now. Everyone's wearing them. Like that basketball player and that other basketball player.
B, get spiritual.
Mom, where did all the mirrors go?
A reflection could never capture our true selves.
Huh?
Beauty is within.
C, look on the bright side.
Less time blow drying, more time texting.
Or D, show empathy.
Mom, you really don't have
Ta-da! Twinsies!
I kind of love it. As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
For more information on how you can adopt, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Shopping for a new Kia, your timing couldn't be better. Why? Because Cobb County Kia is now Jim Ellis Kia of Kennesaw, Georgia's newest Kia dealership. Better service, selection, and value. All the things you expect from a Jim Ellis family dealership. Whether you're shopping for a new or pre-owned vehicle or need to service your existing Kia, Jim Ellis Kia of Kennesaw is ready to earn your business. Save on virtually every vehicle in stock during the America's Best Value Summer Sales event. Right now, save $8,326 off MSRP. That's $8,326 on a 2018 Kia Sorento. Example, Sorento stock number JK132's MSRP is $28,325. After the customer cash, bonus cash, and Jim Ellis discount, sales price is only $19,999. Just add TAVT and state fee. Shop online or in person, same great service either way. Learn more at Jim Ellis of Kia of Kennesaw.com. Stop by for the VIP experience at 1221 Auto Park Drive in beautiful Kennesaw.
Time for the Hot Seat Hotline.
4, 3, 2, 1. Hey, man, we're going into the hot seat. We're going to throw the questions at Mr. Bixby. Throw them at him real quick. See if he can answer them real quick. You ready, sir?
I guess.
Start it off, Maceo. Your favorite fast car?
Favorite fast car? Chevy Camaro.
What's the fastest you drove on the track?
I'm going to say 85.
Even on the track?
We have Chevrolet cars and we're not allowed to go more than 85, so the fastest I've gone is 85.
Most famous person to attend, outside the racers, to attend Atlanta Motor Speedway that you've met?
The most famous person to attend? Oh, jeez. God, that I've attended, that's been there when I've been there?
Uh-huh.
I can't remember what that guy's name was.
He famous.
Yeah, he famous.
He's famous.
He looks famous. He got a lot of people. Right now, who was the most famous? Who had the most fans this year at the Speedway?
Chase Elliott by far.
Chase.
Yeah.
Homeboy.
Oh, yeah,
homeboy.
absolutely, homeboy.
Yeah.
He almost, when Junior was still there the year before, he got almost as loud of a cheer during driver intros as Chase did. On the flip side, Kyle Busch got his loud boos as Chase got cheers.
You gotta love it.
Yep.
Best celebration you've seen at Atlanta Motor Speedway?
Carl Edwards backflipping.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yep.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yep.
Craziest call you made as the voice of the Gladiators?
That would be when we won the American Conference Championship in Toledo, and as soon as we won, they started throwing debris on the ice. And so right after the call, you have me going, and there goes all the onto the ice. Plus, we won the conference, so there you go.
Being around hockey, did you ever have to pick up squid?
No, nobody threw squid, but they did throw mullet when I was in Mobile.
Mullet?
Yeah, they threw mullet on the ice. I don't know what that was before my time, but they had mullet.
Mullet?
Yep. Somebody threw a mullet like the second game of the Gladiators.
The weirdest place you visited for a sporting event?
I don't know if any place I would really consider weird, but I've been to some small podunky towns for minor league hockey. Florence, South Carolina sort of comes to mind as
Florence.
A little. I mean, it's like they got a hockey team, but it's like a wide spot in the road.
The arena is right off the spread. Like you run right into the arena.
Yeah, you can't help but
like
see
they
it.
say, you directions 20 east, and it's like, where do I turn? No, it runs into Florence.
It's the only. I mean, the other. It's just like a wide spot in the road.
How much beer has to be ordered for a race event?
Well, it depends on who the winner is, because it depends if they're a beer sponsor or if they're like a Coke sponsor.
Okay.
So that's it varies based on You got to think about sponsors.
Right.
Yeah.
Crazy effort. What's the cleanup effort after the race week? The race week is over with.
Let's just say that it looks like the tornado came through. So there's probably about a good week of trash pickup.
Wow.
Yep.
Why is NASCAR apparel so popular?
I think because NASCAR has one of the people are very loyal, and so because they're so loyal, they'll buy whatever the sponsor is because I'm loyal to that team and that sponsor and that person. Not a great explanation. Quickly.
No, that makes sense though. Not to think about it.
I'm still tripping off he drives 85 on the track, so I'm gonna let that go.
Come on, use your imagination. I have to say 85.
I'm thinking of one might have slipped their foot.
Also, it's a governor on the car.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
What other sporting events have you attended that you always wanted to attend on your bucket list?
The Masters. I went to the Masters 2 years ago by just filling out the form online and getting lottery tickets. You just go onto their website and say, hey, I'd like tickets. And I said, sure, I'll do that. And I did it. And they said, hey, you got tickets. I said, great, I'm going.
Oh, yeah, you living good.
Yeah.
Living good.
And that's the hot seat.
That's the hot seat.
Yeah. Hey, we come back. We're going to finish up our interview with Dustin. Stay with us. It's The Crush.
Driving has a rhythm all its own. Don't wreck it with a text. Before you get behind the wheel, silence your phone. Or better yet, designate a texter. For more text-free driving tips, visit stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
Tweens have mastered the art of tuning out. Jen, there's a spider in the car. We're turning your room into a home gym. See? Nothing. But some messages need to get through. Like making sure they're buckled up the whole ride, every time. Do whatever it takes to make your child listen. Jen, I friended your boyfriend.
Wait, what?
Buckle up, sweetie.
Never give up until they buckle up. Learn more at safercar.gov/kidsbuckleup. A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
No word in the English language is less convincing than probably.
Are you sure we should get matching tattoos on our first date?
Sure. We'll probably stay together.
Probably? It's been 23 minutes since I ate. I can probably swim.
You should wait 30 minutes.
Okay, now tell me what to do. Cannonball! Cramp! Oh, I have a cramp.
I can probably hit the green from here.
Probably.
Can I get a mulligan?
Ready to go?
Hey, are you sure you're okay to drive?
Yeah, I'm pretty sober. Yeah, I'm probably okay.
Probably okay isn't okay, especially when it comes to drinking and driving. If you're drinking, call a cab, a car, or a friend. Buzzed driving is drunk driving. A message brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Hey, in the house, what you say now? Sensation Station Network live with the Crush Sports Talk Radio Show. I am Derek Frazier. I'm with Big Emmanuel tonight. Y'all can forget about it.
Hey, we're back, man. Finishing up our interview with Dustin Bixby of the Atlanta Motor Speedway. Where can people find out about all of, because y'all have more than just racing throughout the year.
Oh,
what are some of the
absolutely.
things that y'all have going out throughout the year?
But besides just racing, and we touched on it a little bit, especially off air, we do 2 series that we promote. Our short track racing series, Thursday Thunder, where guys get their start to make it up to NASCAR. They drive little replica model cars with lawnmower engines that are a great opportunity to learn how to drive on our quarter mile. And
Gotta
then
start somewhere.
the one you guys were talking about, just bring your car and you can drag race on Friday nights at the track for $20.
And that's real. That's a real big deal because that's been going on for a while. Down
Yeah,
there.
it is. It's been 12 years, and we have huge crowds. It's really well attended, and it's a whole lot of fun. I mean, guys like you and me out there with our cars that we
Right.
said, hey, I can beat you, and we
Right.
got a grudge match. We're gonna go, and we're gonna.
Can you imagine?
And down we go down pit road.
Well, let's go
$20.
pay our 20 right now. Let's
Yep.
go get this done. I'm sick of
Yep.
you, man.
Bring that Maxima out there.
Yeah.
Let me show you something.
And we'll actually put you in different classes based on the type of car. So if you got a Mustang and you got a Pinto, you're unfortunately not gonna be in the same class.
Right.
But
Pinto fast though.
if you guys both have Mustangs and
You'd
you're
be in the
arguing,
Volkswagen group.
yeah. If you're arguing about the Mustangs, we'll put you in together and then you can race each other. But we'll class you based on the type of car so that you don't have to go there and say, man, I'm gonna get smoked by that guy with that souped up drag car.
Right.
So you have that opportunity to race light class cars. So we do that. We're more of an event facility the rest of the year besides our NASCAR event. So we do runs, we do the Georgia State Fair, we do just a little bit of everything at the track. So if you've got some event you're trying to put together, we've got an electronic dance music festival that comes. So EDM. We've got just a little bit of everything.
Tell people real quick, Mason, how big is the Atlanta Motor Speedway, acre-wise?
850 acres.
It's gigantic, dude.
Yep.
So we saw what they did in Virginia. Virginia and Tennessee played a football game at the raceway. Has that ever been like? I know somebody's called like, look, we can play football down there.
We've fielded some calls, but nothing of real substance because really a lot of that was they had the backing of the University of Tennessee and Virginia Tech being in the middle. There'd been conversations probably for 15 or 20 years talking about that game and where could those two schools play, and Bristol was brought up and where we should do a game there and who's going to be involved, and we've had a call, but the way Bristol is set up is almost like an oversized football stadium.
Right.
We're
more one-sided.
Yeah, we're more stretched out. You wouldn't get a great view down in turn 4 or turn 1 if the field's at the start-finish line. But we've had those conversations, and it's something that we've thought about and looked at, but it just hasn't ever made sense.
Well, I like that. I like Maceo said, Terra Boulevard on a race week. You know what's going on.
You come on Thursday, you camp, and you stay there all weekend.
You can always tell where you going.
It's just the whole weekend of fun. Forget the work and everything else. You just come
take your
down.
time off.
Yeah.
And I know people who take the time around. They skip. Hey, I'm off February 23rd through February 26th.
Yep.
Break, a winter break.
You don't even ask.
There
I'm
you go.
done.
Winter break time. Absolutely.
For people to find out more about the Atlanta Motor Speedway, where can they go?
AtlantaMotorspeedway.com. It's the easiest place. It's got everything you need, schedules, contact information. It's all right there.
Also, for you Twitter heads out there, AMS updates.
Right.
Yep.
That's where you find them at.
And when you buy your ticket, go ahead and spend another $20 and get the scanner.
Yes,
You got to have the
absolutely.
scanner. You need something on your ears down there. I'm telling you.
Yep.
You don't want to sit through 500 miles.
Yep.
You're gonna be deaf when you leave.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And you're absolutely right. Just ask them, hey, I want to get my ticket and I want to get a scanner.
Yeah.
and they'll be able to take care of you. It's like $20, and they can get you taken care of.
So much fun.
People don't really, and like we're about to say, everybody think it's racing. You bring how much of a staff do each racer pretty much have when they come down?
The racers, they have teams of people. They've got probably 100 each, at least.
Yeah, so they employ 100 people each.
Yeah.
Because you got the drivers, you got your pit crew.
Driver, pit crew,
Yeah.
the truck driver. Oh, yeah.
I love the way the infield. It's just such a pretty thing on race day, man.
It's a little city.
I freaking love it.
It's just a little city.
Well, Dustin, we thank you for coming out and hanging out with us, sir.
Thank you for having me.
I can't
Appreciate
wait to
it.
get back down there.
Yeah, we're gonna come down there and hang out. I told you I gotta put some oil in my car and we're gonna go on the race.
All right, Fast and Furious.
Yeah, come down there. Nah, 300 ain't gonna do all
They
that.
get you some nitrous oxide.
Yeah.